Check, headset mic. Check. Is that coming through? We are live. Got LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. Twitch. Oh, I gotta rename my YouTube. Still says stream 1. This is stream 2. We'll worry about it later. Or can I edit it quick? Edit video. Yeah, let's get this title updated. Stream 2. Let's get a thumbnail updated. There we go. Can't save changes. Why can't I save these changes? Angle brackets are not allowed in the title. Alright, well then we'll just remove them. Little pipes. Do pipe delimited. Got our thumbnail updated, our title updated. Welcome to the live stream. We got Bubbles back there keeping an eye on us, making sure we are on schedule. And in this stream, we are going to be getting ourselves a domain. Let me see, where's that image? So here's our stream. We're going to be getting a domain, we're going to be getting hosting, we're going to be setting up GitHub, repository, Codebase, and a little deploy script at the end, and then we'll see where we're at. As far as time goes, if there's still time left, we'll, maybe do some more coding or figure out what we want to do if time allows. And I am not on the right screen. Tell this is only my second stream, so I'm still getting used to these scene switches and whatnot. But stream 2, we're gonna buy a domain. We're gonna get it connected to our hosting provider, set up a GitHub repository, get the code into that repository, and then write a little deploy script if there's time. First thing we need to do is head over to GoDaddy and get ourselves a domain. Now, I've already purchased a domain, and the domain we want, just make sure my screen's on the right one. Yep, coding seam, so you guys should be able to see this. Zoom it in here, 160, 170. Two-step verification. Get logged in here to our GoDaddy account. And then once you're logged in, you can hop over to your domains, view all your domains, and the one that I purchased that we're going to be working on is rubberduckarmy.com. I went ahead and purchased that. That is going to be our website that we're going to be working on. It's going to be open source. And so you got to go ahead and get yourself a website purchased. And then we can head over to the properties for that domain and head over to the DNS. Under DNS, we're going to head over to name servers. There we go. I don't think I've updated this one yet. Yep, nope. So this is just the default DNS name servers that GoDaddy provides you with. Now what we need to do is we have to hop over to our hosting provider and get the name servers so that GoDaddy can point the domain to our hosting. And I use HostGator. You guys can use whatever hosting you want to use. It's all going to be pretty much the same. So I'm logged in here to my hosting provider, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a website here. Go ahead and continue, empty. We don't want to install a WordPress website. rubberduckarmy.com. And we're going to enter the domain as well. rubberduckarmy.com. And our website has been installed right here. Let it get set up. All is good. Head over to the settings. And here is our name service that we want right here. So we're going to copy these, we're going to update them on GoDaddy, change name servers. I will use my own. Server 1, name, oh, I didn't copy right. Name server 2. Yes, we understand that we are updating our own name servers. Alright, so success, they've been updated. Now sometimes it can take a little while for these to propagate, so we're just going to go ahead and leave it at that for now. We got our name servers updated with our name server names from our hosting provider. Let's just see what happens if we head over to rubberduckarmy.com right now. It's a blank white screen. And so somewhere over in your hosting provider, you should have access to cPanel. Advanced maybe. It's been a while since I set up one of these on host. There's cPanel. Manage. File manager. So we're gonna hop over to our public HTML folder and it names it. Let's see, what's the base path for our domain is website 27, which is right here. And you see it's an empty folder. Actually, before we get moving, we're going to hop over to GitHub and set up our repository first. That's probably where we should head next. GitHub. We're going to add a new repository here. Rubber.army is available. We'll make it public. It's going to be open source project. License. Let's make it MIT license. That's all good. That's all we need. Create repository. Alright, there it is. So now what we want to do is we want to clone this. So we're going to hop over to the code here. We're going to copy this SSH here. And we're going to clone this into our localhost www folder with the command line. You can use whatever you want to do the cloning and the git management, but I like to do the command line. I'm going to go to my www folder and maybe git clone rubber.army. Alright, so now over in our www folder, we should have a rubber.army. There it is, empty. It just has the git and the license. Perfect. So in our browser, we can have localhost / rubber.army. There we go. We got our repository checked out to our local box. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to just do a little initial commit here with an index.php file. So in our www folder right here, let's just go and copy another PHP file. So we'll copy this index.php file here into our repository. Where to go? Rubber.army. Paste. Alright, so let's open this up quick here. Actually, let's just do h1 rubber.army. Let's expand this here. There we go, 25 lines, that's what I need for streaming. Alright, got our h1 tag set up there in our index file. If we refresh our website now, where is it? Right here. Now we see our rubber.army website. There it is. So let's go ahead and do an initial commit here. First we have to be inside of the repository, that would help. So we do git status. Now we see we have added an index file. Git add minus all. Is that falling off the screen? No, we're still good. Here. We'll just call this initial. Let's call this index commit. Git push origin. Now over in our repository on GitHub, we should see our index file. Our site is all set up and ready for deployment to go live. But I think before we do that, I need to get some more coffee. back. Got a refill on our coffee. We're good to go. Alright, so where were we? We're going to go ahead and we got our index file updated. Rubber Army website is ready to go live. So we're going to head over to our, just go over to our cPanel file manager here. And we're going to upload our index file. On screen here, www.rubber.army. So this index file, we're just going to drag that right there. It's not dragging. Just select it then. Index. Alright, it's uploading. It's been uploaded. Go back. Alright, so now we have our index file there. Let's see what happens when we go to rubber.army.com. Still nothing. There should be a test link, I think, too, in HostGator. Maybe some kind of temporary. Yeah, here we go. File. We'll get it. The name servers might not have propagated yet. That could be it. Back over to GoDaddy just to make sure that those name servers actually updated. There's our profile. Here we go. So they're there. I think we just gotta wait for it to propagate. See what that does. Ah, yeah, this looks like GoDaddy stuff here still. So we're still waiting on it to propagate. In the meantime, we can move on to doing something else. Let's see, we got our domain purchased. We got it connected to the name servers. Deploy script. So outside of our public HTML folder, we're going to have a scripts folder right here. And then we're going to create a deploy script for rubber.army. put it in this folder. I'll zoom in here so you guys can see better. So I'm just going to download one of the current scripts, you guys see it there, to my computer here, and we'll update it for Rubber Duck Army. Deploy Rubber Duck Army prod from dev. Open up that script. So what does this script do exactly? Well, it's an this is not the one we want. Sorry guys. We want to go from git to dev. We don't want to do an rsync, we just want to do a remove the whole folder and then do a git clone. That's what we want the script to do. Let's download our dev from git. That's what we want, I think. Let's try that one. Rename that to deploy Rubber Duck Army dev from git. Right, let's open this one up here. Okay, here we go. Let's do a view word wrap. There we go. Alright, so we basically are just removing the folder here. And then we're going to create the folder, and then we're going to do a git clone into that folder. So we just have to update the script with the correct paths. Over in HostGator, my account here, this is the website we're going to be website folder here. Website 27, whatever, blah blah blah. We're just going to remove that directory. We're going to make that directory. We're going to do git clone from our GitHub. Where is our GitHub? GitHub. Copy that. We're here, git clone. And then we're going to clone that into that website. Just like that. So we're removing the folder, creating the folder, and then doing a git clone into that folder. Just check on one thing here. Actually, I do kind of like this idea that I had set up for this previous site I was working on, to clone it into a dev site folder instead of the whole thing. I think we're going to do that for this one too. Going forward, that's probably best. What was this one? That way we don't wipe out the entire website every time we do a deploy. Dev site. Okay, alright, so let's do that. So over in our website here, create a new folder. There's dev. Here's our dev folder. And then we'll create a new folder in here, which is going to be our site. And so this is the folder where we're going to be deploying all of the GitHub repository into. So this is where the index will be that we have over in our right here. This index file will get deployed right into that site folder. Alright, so let's update this again, or update the deploy script. Where's our deploy script at? Here it is. So, same thing, except we're just replacing this website now we're just replacing this folder from the other website to our Rubber Duck Army website. Gotta do our clone here, git clone, make sure we're cloning the right repository. Git clone, Rubber Duck Army. So now every time it's going to be removing that site folder inside of that dev folder we just created. It's going to make that site directory again, so it's empty, and then we're going to do a git clone into that site, which is going to put our repository into that folder. So let's hop to our scripts folder. We keep the scripts folder outside of the public HTML accessible directory. Over to our scripts, and we're going to upload our script. Upload. Desktop, Rubber Duck Army, dev from Git. Alright, so we're going to SSH into our server, into the scripts folder. This keeps opening up in a new window, that's so annoying. Refresh this page here. Let's see. scripts folder. We have our deploy rubber duck army. Do we have it? There it is. Rubber duck army dev from Git. So over in our scripts folder here on our server, there is our rubber duck army deploy script. So if we run this, deploy rubber duck army, oops, gotta get too fast. Enter the password, and our deploy has been done. So if we hop back to our public HTML folder, the 2.7 website, dev site, there it is. Our script ran and it cloned our repository into our what are we in? Dev site folder. So now whenever we want to deploy our website, we're just going to hop over to our scripts folder and run our little bash script here, /deploy rubber duck army dev from Git. The site has been deployed. Refreshing our website still has not propagated. I mean, these are the name servers. Let's see what the name servers say in here. Oh, there's a name servers in here as well. Just want to make sure that I have them right. I guess they're not. Server information. That's not what I want. No, I'm pretty sure those are the name servers. Overview here. Yeah, that's the name servers. So I guess you just gotta wait for it to propagate. Army.com. I thought there was a temporary site URL I could use, but next overview, reload. We do need since we put that in a folder though, we do need an htaccess file to rewrite it to look in dev scripts, or dev site. file manager here. Let's get the, where's the file manager at? Alright, so let's delete this one. So just like our other website, let's see, we have to download this htaccess file here. Alright, so this is going to live outside of our repository, since it's outside of our dev folder. So this has a lot of stuff in it we don't need. We're currently doing a rewrite to always force it to go HTTPS, which we're not going to do quite yet. We want to require that this goes to rubber.army.com as well as down here. And our rewrite rule here is pointing. What else we are do again? It sends it to the site folder right here. And this is all stuff that's just been generated for the other site. We don't need that right now, I don't believe. And right now we don't have a files folder yet. We will have a files folder eventually for assets. That's the only htaccess we need right now for starters. Army. To our website. So we go to rubber.army.com/dev/site. Still not going to our server. Come on, GoDaddy. We're just waiting over here. get our name servers propagated so our website will work. I guess while we're waiting for it to work, we can set up our other environments here. So, like, we got the dev environment set up. We got our dev site. But our production environment will live also inside of this website folder, but it's going to live inside the site folder as well. So let's add a folder called site. This will be the production site. So then we can write our script that I initially opened up a while back with the rsync in it, because we're just going to rsync the dev site folder to the production site folder. But before we do that, I think I need to have another cup of coffee here. Running out. Alright, we're back. Is our domain propagated yet? Nope. Army.com. Man, sometimes it's a lot quicker than this. Of course, the one time I'm streaming it, it takes forever. Like it's been updated. Double check my main website, see if that has the same DNS records, which I believe it should. Oh, those are different. Where did I get those ones from? This has different name servers, except for in the cPanel. It has this. Let's check another domain out here that we got pointed to our HostGator server. Let's check out what else do we have set up here. Domain main servers from. Let's see. cPanel. HostGator keeps logging me out. It's annoying. Log in again. Log in again. Custom name servers, maybe? That's 8443. No, that's not it. Domains. wonder if I have to do this. I have these two here. Didn't add it to here. When I add it for the hosting, I guess I have to add domains here too to get the name servers. So if I do add external domain, keep the same one, same registrar, rubber.army.com, add. Everything's always a little different. Learning something new every day. We'll see once this gets added. It's probably going to have different domain name servers. Rubber.army.com. Still processing. Yeah, I think I had to add it here too, as well as the hosting for HostGator. It's been a while since I set up a new site here, domain, but we'll get there. It's one of those things where, you know, you do it once and then you don't do it again for a year or so, so you just gotta figure it out all over again. But once it's set up, it's set up. Refresh this page. Come on, process. There we go. External domain, just like the other ones here. Let's go to settings. Okay, so that is the correct host names. Maybe I'm just being too impatient with these name servers. Changing name servers is risky, guys. Our website could disappear from the public view. What? Attempt to update has failed. Well, this is a sad day. Construction page. Well, maybe since I added it over here, now we gotta wait even a little bit longer. Status. Raw who is. If I do a who is on my site. Let's just see. Where's the who is? this one. Domains name servers. See, name servers right there. They don't have them on this one yet. Oh, they do. There they are. Okay. What does this connected to one service mean? Connect. Domain. Select an option below to connect your domain to a service. Connect the website to your domain and share. No, that's not what I'm going to do. And what it took me, what is the service it's connected to here? Oh, domain connections. One service connected to one service. Oh, that's probably from my blog that I have installed on there. What's this one connected to? Oh, do we have to connect it to my hosting plan? Is that what I have to do? It take 24 to 40 hours. Man, this is just, every hosting is different. What the heck? You successfully received your request. Well, I wonder if that's what it needs to. White screen's promising. At least it's not loading up the default GoDaddy page. Alright, well, let's leave that be for a little bit. Got other things we can do. Head over to our file manager and set up our, what we're working on, our deploy script for going from dev to production. Our scripts folder, go ahead and download our prod from dev script. Prod from dev. Right here. So we're just going to copy over the folder for our new website right here and replace replace that. Stupid word wrap. Come on, word wrap. There we go. Alright, so rsync. We're going to rsync this folder here, our dev site folder, to our public HTML site folder, which is our production folder. And then we're going to remove our .git folder from our production site folder. Don't need that .git folder. Back in our file manager here, I'm going to go ahead and upload that script. Deploy rubber duck army prod from dev. Open. Scripts folder now, when we have SSH in, we have our deploy rubber duck army prod from dev script right there. We're gonna run that. Prod from dev. It's gonna do an rsync all those files over. It always opens in a totally new window. That's annoying. But let's close that. Go back to our website here. Our site folder now contains our code repository that was rsynced from our dev site folder. Everything over here in our dev site folder was transferred over to here, and you see the .git folder got removed as well. And so our production deploy script has been written. Still trying to figure out the redirects here.
I know it sounds silly, dear, but do it for me, please.
See the site working on our hosting. Here, I thought this was going to be the easy part. Stuff's always taking longer than expected. Site URL here. I wonder if that's gonna work. There's no way that's gonna work. Alright guys, we are back. Let's see what our propagation is doing here. Still not propagated. Oh, I see a... Is that just a coincidence? There's a HostGator ad there? Come on. It has expired. Well, it hasn't because I just bought it. Let's just sit here and refresh this page until we see our website about it. And we could be here all day doing this. How long has it been? About an hour since we did the name server update. We'll give it another hour. Oh! We did it! There it is! Finally! Our site is live. That's our dev site. So we're in the dev site folder. And then the main folder, it's still probably not quite fully propagated, so every time you hit the website, it might go to GoDaddy, it might go to HostGator. But this is promising that we refresh this page and we finally see our H1 tag here with Rubber Duck Army. Alright, so we know that I think stuff has been set up correctly on our side with HostGator. I think we've done all we can, and we just gotta wait. Patience is a virtue. Alright, so let's close GoDaddy up. I think it's all good. Just a matter of time before we keep refreshing and then we'll go straight to our website. Look at that! It worked! Ah, see, refresh that time, I went back to GoDaddy. That time, white screen. Ah, it's still, there it is. Alright, so let's do a little test here to make sure that dev and production are separate. Over in the index, I'm going to say Rubber Duck Army. Update. Now let's just put a little text down here in the div. Let's say updates. So now localhost, Duck Army, we got our updates, right? So our dev site now, do a little commit here, status, and we've updated the index file, updates, git push origin. Alright, so that's been updated into the repository. Now if we come over here, we do /deploy Rubber Duck Army. It's git to dev, I believe. Isn't that the name of the file we named it? Deploy Rubber Duck. Oh, dev from Git. Okay, run that. Alright, so our code should be pushed up from our Git repository to our dev site, which is right here. Dev/site. If we refresh that, there's our updates. See how easy that is to deploy a website? production site should not have any updates. Oh, it's still propagating. Still not fully propagated. Page cannot be displayed. Site. Interesting. Page can be displayed. Please contact your service partner for more details. What? There's always some new error happening. Now it's gonna take us another hour and a half to debug this error. There's a number 6 after it. I don't know what that means. Never seen this before. Seven. 10. 1. It was just working. Now it's really thinking.
Bruce, you better wait here. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Even 10 minutes is a long time to be away from you.
Page cannot be displayed. Why can't it be displayed? Or is this just another, have to wait to be patient for it to propagate and everything? Was working for a few minutes there. We do a new incognito window here. See? Okay. So it's still propagating, blah blah blah, whatever. We just gotta be patient for it. Because new private window, it works. And then dev/site should have updates, right? So now if we run our deploy, we run in here, drop /deploy, reproduct army prod from dev. So do that rsync between the dev site and the production site folder, and if we refresh this page, now our production site should have errors. What is with this error page here? Yeah, is it? Still with the propagation, maybe? I don't know. What if we try a different browser? Yeah, see, there it is. So that's how we get our updates from localhost to dev to production. Alright, we're just gonna let that propagate for a bit. Now that we know it's, working. This needs to take a little more time to actually settle down and always hit our HostGator server. Why is it not making guess it's only been an hour and 45 minutes. Then we have our site set up. Domain hosting. What else are we going to do on this live stream? Domain hosting. GitHub. Codebase setup. Okay, let's do the Codebase setup. Let's close out of all of our hosting stuff. Delete these. Turn on the server. And so now we can focus on our Codebase, right? And our Codebase is going to come from our GitHub repository here. It's going to be the IR coding framework that I created myself. Right here, IR coding. And I do have a YouTube tutorial here for you guys to check out. Basically, I went through creating a framework from scratch, which I would recommend. It's a very good way to understand how these frameworks work, model view controllers, especially because that's what this is on MVC. You know, you just learn a lot more stuff when you actually code the framework yourself. Now, this doesn't have all the bells and whistles of any major framework, but it does the job we're going to need to do for this website. So we're going to go ahead and clone this repository into our www folder. I think I already have it here. IR coding, no I don't. Yeah, right there, IR coding. So I've already checked this one out myself. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this entire framework. Copy all of this here except for the Git part, and we're going to place this into our Rubber Duck Army folder. So we're going to delete this index file, don't need that anymore, and paste everything else. There is our IR coding framework. Now in the future, the way you update the framework is you just update this core folder. So if there's an update made to the framework, you download the framework and you just replace this core folder for your app. So let's say there was an update to IR coding, and we need to update Rubber Duck Army. All we do is we just delete this core folder, and we replace it with the new core folder from the GitHub repository IR coding. This core folder right here contains the actual framework files. So replacing that, refreshing our local host page here. I'm guessing we'll have some. Oh, never mind. I guess it works. Oh, that's right. The framework should work out of the box if you just copy and paste it into your www folder. So this is what you get out of the box. IR coding. That's the GitHub repository and the YouTube tutorial there. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of all this and replace it with our Rubber Duck Army code that has yet to be written. Alright, so I am going to, let's clear this, go to utils. This is also, I have a utils repository on my GitHub. I go into Sublime, create projects. I can create project. It's going to ask me for a www folder directory, Rubber Duck Army, and then we'll create me a Rubber Duck Army project in Sublime. Go back to www Rubber Duck Army. Alright, back there. Hop over to Sublime, and we can do project, open project. That project was created in my WAM Sublime Projects folder. Here we should see Rubber Duck Army. Open that up, and now all our files over here are, this folder here is the Rubber Duck Army in our www directory. And we're going to begin over in the index file. So what I like to do for these projects, or any project in general, is you want all of your defines to be outside of the public HTML directory. Let's close this one here. Okay, so in our www directory, outside of it into the WAMP folder, and you'll notice I have a where is it? On includes. Right, so here we have our includes files. These contain things that you don't want on your server, you know, access tokens, login credentials. That's what these files are going to hold. So we're just going to copy over one of these here. We're going to name it Rubber Duck Army Global Include. Right, so this is where you specify things that are server related. So like if you have an environment variable, you'd have this include on your dev server and your production server, and on the dev server it would be set to development, on production it would be environment to production. And here is our global include right here. For a local host, we're going to have a development environment. We copy this over from our Hello World example, so we're going to update this to be our Rubber Duck Army. Right, display name, Duck Army. Then we have our protocol set. I leave all this the same. Path to host is protocol / the host. Base URL is the path to host. Site folder name, so localhost on localhost / Rubber Duck Army. Path to our assets, JS, CSS files, app / assets. Then we have external paths for files outside of our repo. Path to host files / site folder name, which we will be implementing later, I think. Not right now, but we'll leave these defines in here so they're accessible later. And then down here we have our database and session. So we're going to use a database for this repository, and we're going to use sessions. And down here is where we specify our database credentials and our session credentials. So our database, we're going to be using our flag right here, use database true. And then here's our DB creds. Hostname localhost, username is root on local, no password, and our database will be Rubber Duck Army. Then we have our session, we're going to use that session flag. Session name is our site name, Rubber Duck Army. This is the time for the session to regenerate. So every 300 seconds, a new session ID will be regenerated for the user. And this is when the session will actually expire for the user so if they don't use that session, it will expire in 60 days. If if they use a session within 60 days, it will be, the expiry date will be pushed out another 60 days. So as long as they're using the session within 60 days, they'll always get it bumped out 60 days. Hope that makes sense. Database table name here will be sessions. Alright, now we do have to set up the database. We'll do that in a second here, but we also need to make sure we're including this file in our index.php file. So we're going to go over here and we do a require once for our rubber duck army global include.php. Right? And so basically what we did is the framework here, the index file, it's setting all this stuff here in the index file, which is what we're trying to get out of the index file and outside of the www directory. We define all this inside of our global include, so we're just going to delete all of this out of the box so we don't use a database or sessions. That way you can just copy the code base and it will work out of the box like we saw. It loaded up the IR coding homepage right when we threw it in our rubber duck army folder. So we'll go ahead and we're going to delete all of this stuff. Then we have our environment here, which is coming from our global include, so development, otherwise we're turning off error reporting in production. And then we can go ahead and require our autoloader for the framework. And the autoload params, so these two arrays right here, we set up in our global include file right here. So database load creds, so this is the variable we're going to pull in right here to database, just like that, database. Same with our session. Database and session. So now we have taken all the credentials outside of the www folder and more importantly the repository. You don't want to be committing these database credentials and whatever else. If we have access tokens, if we start using APIs, we'll put those credentials in this defines file here in the global include and not in our index file. That way we're not committing credentials to the repository. Our autoload params is set up. The rest is pretty straightforward. We will update this here in a little bit, but this is specifying the default controller you want to use and the default method for the controller when you hit the website. Now if we refresh our page in the browser, we should see some errors because we shouldn't be able, it should tell us we're not able to connect to the database. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and I'm not, did I spell this wrong? No such file or directory. Rubber duck army underscore global underscore include. Rubber duck army underscore global underscore include. Oh, duh, it's not in the same, it's not in the repository, so we gotta go up a few levels. Dot dot backslash, dot dot backslash. That should get us 1, 2, I think? 2 up? Nope, I think it's 3 up. That should get us 1, 2, and then into the includes folder. Is that? Yeah, that's right. Let's try it. Alright, so it's 2 up and into the includes folder, and then we are finally seeing our database error because we don't have the database set up, but at least the require once is working. Over localhost/phpMyAdmin, good old phpMyAdmin. Log in there. And we're going to create a database here. Do a UTF-8 CI. Where did it go? TFA general CI. And we'll call this rubber duck army. Create. Database has been created. Alright, now the IR coding, it does come with SQL dump here for the creation of the sessions table, which we are using. And that's the only table we need. This is stuff, these template tables are just for examples, just an example so you can see how the database works. But the only table we care about for this is the sessions table. So go over to our phpMyAdmin SQL and create our sessions table. Alright, there's our sessions table. In our Rubber Duck Army database, if we refresh this page here, base table or view not found. I believe this is because once we turn on the database, the default controller is looking for these templates table once for the example. So if you don't have this templates tables, you're going to see these errors. Which is fine, because we're going to go ahead and delete all of that. So default comes into controller IR coding. It's loading up this IR coding class because in our index file we specify that as a default controller. We're going to be replacing this controller here with our own controller. We're going to just call it a home controller with an index method in it. Right, because we're going to get rid of the default. So here's the IR coding class. You see it's looking for the IR coding model get page text, which is in fact trying to pull data from the database, which we didn't add the templates table to our database, so it's failing there. We're just going to kind of get rid of all the default IR coding stuff, the models and the controllers that it comes with, and the views. There's an IR coding view too, so I guess we could leave it in there, for example. No, it's cleaner to just get rid of all of it. So in our app, we'll get rid of it after we copy this stuff over. So we're going to create a new controller and call it home. This is our home controller. If we open up our home controller, we're going to update it to the class home. This is the home page for home. Let's get rid of this package IR coding app. This should be Rubber Duck Army app. Alright, so our index function right here is where now we're going to default into, because we specified that in the router params. Default controller home, function index. HTML title. I think we can call this site name. Yeah, site display name. Let's do that. That will be the title that is in the browser tab. Rubber Duck Army. Page. get rid of all this here for now. Just make a very simple page, and we're just gonna load our view. Rubber view, let's do home, HTML template. And we're going to create an HTML template for all of our pages. So we'll do a templates folder, our default HTML template. So in our app views, we're going to create a templates folder. Templates. Inside of our templates, we're going to have a default template. This way, in case in the future, if we want to make any more templates, we'll just create a new folder in here. But basically, every view we load will use the default template for every page. And you'll see why in a minute. And then in here, we're going to create ourselves an html.php file. And in our MVC framework here, this load view, all you have to do is specify the view to load, which is our template's default html.php file, and then pass along the data array. Now over here in our sidebar, our new folder default html.php has been added. So this template here is basically the HTML, title, body, head. That's all in this template, and all of these will be loading this template. Stop auto-completing. Alright, so this is the template we'll be using. You can think of the template, this is like a global template. So every page, if we want to add some script, say we want to add Google Analytics to every page, we just have to put it inside of our head tags here, and it will be loaded on every page. Here is where we're going to put our title that we defined. So everything we pass into our data array here turns into a variable in PHP in our view. For example, we just have to echo out our title, like that. Our browser where we're at here. We're still gonna get this. No, we shouldn't. Our HTML title. What did I messed up the comment? progress has been made. Our home controller is now being used to load up our new view that's empty, except for our HTML title tag up there, which is our site name. Back real quick to grab some more coffee. Alright, we back. Now we have to set up controller specific head and body things. So, because this template will be used for every controller we create. So the HTML title, all you have to do is set that in your controller. So if we have a settings controller, you could set this to settings, and now we have to load up a view for our home page. Right? We have the default template, but we want to have a body here. So we want to do a PHP echo, and we want to have an HTML body for our view. So to do that, do HTML body. So every time we create a controller, home, we're going to create a corresponding view folder for that controller. Where's our folder here? Okay. Views. So we got the global template set up. Now we're going to set up our home folder. This is going to contain all our home specific view files. First one being our HTML body.php file. And the other file we're going to create here is our HTML head file. So every time we create a view folder, it's going to have a body and a head. Those are the heads and body specific things. And those will be included here. So here's our body, and then in our head, we're going to include our HTML head variable, which will be those views we just created right here. Home, HTML body, HTML head. So just to see if things are working here, we can do H1 here. And say home view. Right? So now this will be included, echoed out right here in our body when we use this template. Now to get the HTML body, we have to do this model get view HTML. That's core functionality for the framework, the model of the get view HTML. Look over here in the core folder model, we have our get view HTML. So you pass in a view file and the data for that view file. Our view file here is our controller name. Let's set our controller name here. Just so when we copy over and create new controllers, we don't have to worry about updating the name directly in here. It'll just pull it right in from the class name. So we'll say data controller, do an str to lower on our class name. Something doesn't look great, but there we go. Alright, so now our data controller is this, just lowercase. So we can say to load this body, I'm going to look in our home view folder. And all we have to do is add on a slash HTML body and pass along our data array. All the data we want to use in this view HTML body. We do the same for the HTML head. So HTML head, data controller HTML head. And that is how we get these two view files here, passed along as variables in our data array to our global template right here. This is going to be page specific HTML head. And we can say this will be body specific HTML head. Or body specific HTML. Alright, let's see if we're error free. It worked. Our view is being loaded, our home view. So now you kind of get an understanding of how this global template will be used for all of our controllers and views that we create, because you just have to specify these variables in the controller, and this global template will load them all for us. at getting, we need to load up scripts and CSS for these files now. Like our home needs its own CSS and its own JavaScript, which will be our HTML head specific. Right, so this will be stuff only for the home page. Page specific CSS. Page specific JavaScript. Now, where are these going to live? Well, they're going to live in our, we got to pull that from our base URL assets here. App assets. Base URL. Assets file here. Yeah, then we have a JavaScript and CSS files here that we will be using. So you see the default framework came with its own, we have the IR coding controller, which is what the framework starts out with, but we're going to create our own home folder in the JavaScript and the CSS folders here. In our app, assets, CSS, create a new folder here called home. And then inside of our home, we're going to create a styles CSS file. There's our CSS, then in our assets.js file, we're going to create a folder, home, and we'll create a JavaScript file here and called script.js. So now we have our home specific CSS and JS files set up. We can include those in our home specific HTML head file. This will be a link for our CSS file, href equaling we're going to use our base URL define right here. Base URL, why is there a 1 in here? Oh, there we go. Base URL assets, app assets. And CSS is our CSS folder. And now we're going to echo out our controller name. Go ahead and spell, echo out controller / styles.css. That is the file that we just created over in our assets CSS home styles. Base URL assets gets us to our assets folder. We specify the CSS folder, and then our controller name here is coming from our actual home controller right here, our string to lower of our class name home. So home / styles.css. Set this to relatives for style sheet. A type of text CSS. Now we have our page-specific CSS included, which currently is empty. We'll fill that in a little bit. And then we have our script. Source equals and again we're going to do our base URL assets, gets us to our assets folder, but now we want to go into our JavaScript folder, so JS / we're going to use our controller again. Here we go, we're in our JS home folder, And now all we have to do is /script.js. And now our script here has been included on the page, along with our styles inside of our HTML head specific home view. Where are we at? Here we are. So right here, this HTML head is actually these, whatever you put in this file right here will be placed right here. So essentially that is what's happening when the home page loads. I'm gonna refresh our home view here just to make sure we don't have any errors. We don't. Check the console for logs, errors, no errors there. We're looking good.
Check it. Check.
Now that we have our page-specific CSS set up, we want to also include template-specific CSS. So we're going to go up one level. Template CSS would be things that are always included on every page. So before we include the page-specific HTML head, we're going to include our template-specific CSS as well, because there's going to be a lot of global things we want. You know, we want to have global styles for buttons, and the look and feel of the whole site. We don't want to include that in every page-specific. We want to have that at the template level. So template-specific CSS, and template-specific JavaScript. And there's no controller here, but we're still going to our CSS folder. We're going to CSS. We're going to create a templates folder. Templates default styles.css. Same for our JavaScript file. We have a JS templates default script.js. New folder here, templates. New folder, default. And we're going to have styles, default styles.css. We're the same in our JavaScript folder. Templates, new folder, default, copy over our script here, default script.js. So this is the template level script.js file. So now we're able to add template specific CSS and JavaScript along with page specific HTML styles and scripts. Another thing we want to add here is our meta tags. We have a lot of meta tags to add in the future. Right now we're just going to add our viewport. site's looking good on desktop and mobile. And this is the string we use for the viewport. Make sure it looks good on desktop and mobile. The device width, no scaling. Set the minimum scale to 1 and the maximum scale to 1. Browser. No errors, everything is loading just fine. Let's test out our scripts here just to make sure they're loading. You know, I like to see things, that's how I know that they're working. Our home script, script tag here. Do a console.log home.js. Check our console down here. I've got a syntax here. What do we got going on here? Console. Oh, this is a script file, so we don't, the script tags are probably messing that up. Literally, it's a JavaScript file. You know, sometimes the littlest of mistakes. There we go, home.js loaded. If home.js is loaded, we paste this into our template-specific JavaScript here. Let's see, template.js. Refresh it. Template loads first, and then the home specific JavaScript loads after. Gonna delete that for now. Close those out. And I think we're at a good point here where we can do a commit. Lots set up here. I think we can go ahead and delete the, let's go ahead and clear out all the IR coding stuff. Clean up the repository a little bit. Assets, CSS, IR coding, delete. Assets, images, we'll do a fave icon in the next tutorial where we'll do styling and style sheets, and the overall look and feel of the site. We'll code that up in the next live stream. Delete IR coding here. Controllers, we don't need the IR coding controller anymore. Models, we don't need this IR coding model. And views, we don't need the IR coding view. Alright, so now we have completely gotten rid of all the IR coding stuff inside of our app folder. I'll leave this SQL dump here, so we got the sessions table, SQL, so you guys can have that. Maybe I should copy the defines template, so you guys have that too. Or so everybody has it that checks out their repository. So our includes, Rubber Duck Army Global include. We'll copy that into our repository. We'll call this Rubber Duck Army Global include template. Right? Let's open up our template here. So I think everything looks fine in here. This is all safe to check in. Right. I'm gonna put a note up here and say this file. I want to make sure that people don't include these defines in their repository. This file should be what should I say? This file should be moved outside of the repository and required index file. I think that's a good enough warning that people probably won't ever listen to, but you know it's there, so. Alright, this file should be moved outside the repository and required in the index file. Alright, I think that's a good enough warning. If you don't follow it, you're on your own. Alright, our index file. Yeah, there's our required ones. Require should not be in. Here we go. Okay, that's good enough, I think. Index, close that out. Close the home controller. Close our HTML file. Body file. Head file. Close that. Out. We're done editing everything. Anything else we need to update right now? Got the SQL dump, index, readme. Alright, let's get our stuff committed. So now we should have a lot of files here on the git status. A lot of things being added. Add install. Let's call this IR coding framework future, we'll be doing, maybe do a branch the stream. I think that's probably a good idea. Let's hop over to our GitHub. Here's our GitHub repository. Let's check out Rubber Duck Army. Where are you at, Rubber Duck Army? Updated just now. We have our updates. If we go to, let's go to Rubber Duck Army /dev/site. Is it still propagating every once in a while? This is really annoying. As you see, we are still, there it is. Okay. Still propagating. Thanks, GoDaddy. Hopefully next stream it will always load up. First thing we gotta do is we gotta create a database over on our server for Rubber Duck Army. My website's HostGator. Head over to our Rubber Duck Army settings, advanced phpMyAdmin. Oh, that's right. You gotta go through cPanel. So we're going to manage cPanel. Set up our database wizard. This Rubber Duck Army. I think we need to have a dev and a production, so we'll do Rubber Duck Army dev. Yeah, Rubber Duck Army _dev. Oh, dev and a production database. So let's say, let's just call this user rubber. Let's just do RDA dev. Password, generate one for me. Well, now you guys saw that, so let's regenerate a new one off screen. Generate a secure password. Password again. Alright, new password's generated. Create user. Give them all the privileges. To MySQL databases. So our database has been set up. Yep, Rubber Duck Army dev. Current users. That user get added to the database. Let's see. RDA dev, add them to Rubber Duck Army dev, add. Oh yeah, we already did this. Okay. So now on our HostGator phpMyAdmin, we should let's go back to phpMyAdmin. Now we should see our Rubber Duck Army dev. There it is. So now what we want to do is we want to run our script for the sessions table on our database. SQL. Go. And now we have a sessions table in our database. back and create another database for our production. Manage databases. Army prod. Create database. So our prod database has been created. Now I have to create a new user. Or reduc army underscore prod. Generate this password off screen because it's going to populate. User. Add user to database. RDA prod to Roduck Army prod. Add. Give them all privileges. Let's go back to PHP my admin. I think I gotta close that or it won't load again. Now we should see our Reduc Army. No, not that one. This one. No. This one we got our dev and our prod database. Again, we're gonna copy over our sessions table, SQL. So now we have our prod database set up with sessions table and our dev database set up with sessions table. Now we gotta get the code up on the server. First thing we're gonna do is do our little git deploy script here. We're gonna do a /deploy army dev from git. It's been deployed. Hard to tell if it's been deployed though. Oh, let's see if the redirect from GoDaddy goes to our site. And it's still not going there all the time. But we would see an error there because we got to get our includes file uploaded. That's the file that lives outside of the repository. So over to our file manager, there it is, file manager. Public HTML, our website here. Actually, no, we're uploading our scripts file. So in our scripts folder, no, includes, sorry, all over the place here. So here is where we want to upload our global include. We're actually going to have two includes here because we're going to have one for the dev server and one for the production server. So we're going to hop into our WAMP. Nope, not WW. Includes. Our Product Army global. one here. Let's call this global include dev underscore dev. We'll say underscore prod. Alright, so we're going to open these both up. Here's our dev, here is our prod. So really what we're going to be updating in here is our database credentials with the database we just set up on the server. So I'm going to update the hostname, username, and password here off screen so you guys don't see those credentials. And then we'll get these uploaded to the server. And just remember we have a different database for dev versus a different database for production. Database would be underscore dev on dev and underscore prod on production. Username, password for prod. Password for dev. We'll go ahead and upload them now. Upload. Desktop. Upload our dev. Upload our prod. And then we have our global includes for dev and prod. Now I'm going to update my local host here. We're going to have to accommodate, do a little if statement here to determine if it is dev or prod. In our index file. So we have our require once global include. And I'm going to do the require. Let's see here, how do I do this on my other project? Oh, that's right, I just looked at the domain. So we're going to check for the domain name. Server HTTP host. We're going to check for server.army.com. If it equals the HTTP host, then we know we're on our server. We are on our server. Otherwise, it's localhost. Update this in the future, but to be more clean, but for now we're just going to do it this way. So if we're on localhost, we're just going to leave it here. Require once server.army global include. Otherwise, we're going to check to see if we have dev in the URL. If there's dev in the URL, we'll do underscore dev. If not, we'll do _prod. We'll say if str contains haystack is server HP self, and we're looking for /dev. Right, because to get to the dev server, you have to do rubberduckarmy.com/dev/site. Dev server. And we're treating that as the dev server. In case of the dev server, we want to go, how many up do we want to go? Site. // to dev // I think it's .4 to our includes rubberduckarmy global include _dev. From our current directory. Alright, so the current directory we're in is on the dev server is site. Up one is dev, up another one, and up one more to includes. I think that's right. And in prod, it's up only 3. And we can do our directory on our localhost as well. See how our localhost likes that? Well, it doesn't like that. Require once. Oh, so we gotta put a / after the directory. Alright, looking good on localhost. Now we gotta push this up to the dev server. So we've modified our index file to accommodate for the different servers. Index update for global includes. Deploy to get from dev. Refreshing our page, we get some, we have some errors for a second there, but lots of errors. What did we miss? We missed something here. Session name cannot be changed after header. What did we miss here? No such file or directory. Dev site core. Didn't our deploy work? Maybe our deploy didn't work. Dev site core. site name, site folder name, site display name. Yeah, I think our we gotta update something in here is not quite right. Our path to host is protocol, HTTPS, server HTTP hosts, and then it will be /dev for dev, I think. Yeah, because it would be rubber.army.com/dev, that's past the host. And then it would be /site, not folder name. Just gonna go ahead and edit this right on the server. Make things a little quicker. Includes Army dev. Edit. Alright, so we want path to host to be the protocol /dev. We got the base URL would be /dev/site. Where is my website? I mean, are we even following? Yeah, we're in here, okay. So including the correct includes file. But it's still not opening the... Why isn't it opening the core model file? Are we missing? Codebase URL assets is. It seems to have a // in it. That's right. rubberduckarmy.com/dev/site/app/assets. Is this file or a directory? Why is there a // in it? /app to models. core.app/. Missing something. Environment. Site folder name. /dev/site. searching, and it's the dumbest thing you could think of. I think we're missing a models folder. I think we're missing the models folder. Where's our repository? Yeah, we don't have a models folder in here. Oh boy, that's why. Why didn't that come over? App. Oh, it does it not upload if there's not a model in there? It's always something dumb. Alright, let's go and get a models folder created. Army app models. Alright, so models, we're going to put back in our IR coding model here. We're just going to call this Army model. Alright, so at least now when we upload this through Git, it should upload the models folder. And this model will just be for data handling for global rubber duck army stuff in the future, but right now I think we're just going to delete everything over here except the construct. We don't need any of this stuff from the IR coding framework. It's the constructor. Duck army. Let's update this. Army. You can delete all of this. Delete all of this. No, let's leave that in there. Why not? Looks cool. Leave the SQL dump in there. Ah, well, we gotta make sure we update the modeling actually. Army model. Just go. Army. Update these quick. Actually, what am I updating these core files for? Been streaming too long today. It should always be higher coding. Yes, okay. But our new model, Rubber Duck Army model, that's gonna get us what we need. Folder should upload. Restored the core folders and files back to their originals. Now all we've added is the new model and our README has been updated. This is models folder. Alright, now let's go ahead and run our deploy script. farther. Unstreamed has null data. So here's deprecated. We got a deprecated function in the session. So sounds like we need to update we need to work on IR coding framework update for these deprecated functions. That's right, because I still haven't updated my WAMP to the new PHP version, so I'm kind of old over here. Yeah, 7.3, we gotta get on to 8.1. Alright, but at least we know what's going on here. If we go to our production site, if it loads, come on, load, please. Well, it's not going to load. But we can go ahead and do our deploy to production. Deploy prod from dev. Ready to do rsync, and our files should be up there. Army. There we go. We're on production, right? The deprecated errors are gone because we're using our production include file, which sets, hold on, let me pull it up here. If we're on production here, develop else, error reporting, we set the error reporting to 0 and we don't display any errors on production. Oh, I think that's a good place to wrap up our stream for the day. We got a lot done here and it's been 3.5 hours. Propagation took a long time. Propagation is always annoying, trying to get GoDaddy to point at your name servers. But we did still accomplish a lot. Let's see here. Got our domain from GoDaddy. We got our hosting set up. We got the site added there, the domain added there, the name servers updated on GoDaddy. So provided by our hosting provider. We set up our GitHub repository. We got our Codebase set up with the IR coding framework. And then we set up a nice little deploy script so we can have a little dev testing site as well as a production site. Now, obviously we need to start creating functionality for this website, styling it up, and that will happen in the next stream. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. That was a good Saturday morning stream, a lot of progress. Next time, like I said, styling, obviously, but we want to start with logging in, signing up, forgot password, and then we can start focusing on adding cool features to the website. It's all open source, it's on GitHub, rubber.army, in my github.com/jstolpe. Go check it out. If there's features you guys want to see added, let me know. We'll add them as we get going here, but first, this initial setup always takes a lot of time and it's kind of annoying, but once we get the site set up with the login and the sign up, we can start adding cool features. Just let me know what you want to see. And I think with that, I'll let you guys go. I will see you guys next time.
He said one day you'll leave this code behind, so write that code and don't remember. Some senior told me when I was level 1, these are the bugs that